Live from the Export Beer Gardens studios and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for Tuesday, the 12th of November.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
A very good morning to G Lane.
Morning.
How's it all going?
Yeah, good. Very good.
Haven't seen you since the weekend.
Yeah, since the rugby on Saturday morning.
Yes.
What a game.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good to call that game. Scrappy game. I mean, you would have discussed it yesterday, but it was just so good to just see them wilt like a kind of dying four-leaf clover.
Yeah.
This crowd was silent. For the last 20 minutes, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes of the second half, I was like, oh, shit. The crowd were going nuts. They scored that try.
Yeah.
And then they just shat the bed. And it was great to watch. And it was great to see Rico Ioane's post, put that in the book with a picture of him celebrating at the end.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that kind of stuff.
It's all great for rugby. And
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I said it yesterday, but despite the fact that, did we score one try? I think we scored one.
Yeah, we did.
It was still a very entertaining game to watch. And I have been advocating to take the posts off the field for quite a while. But it was quite entertaining to watch. I likened it yesterday to like a rowing race where the tips of the boats just go back and forth, and that's how it went for that whole game. There was enough tension in it throughout. Anyone could win, anyone could lose.
It was the first half wasn't pretty to watch. That 9-6 half time was a bit scrapped. Like Nick Berry, I don't know if is there different rules, I don't know, around internationals, but Nick Berry was very loose on the ruck and them coming around offside and kicking the ball away, and poor Cortez Ratima had a shitter of a first half.
He did.
Running backwards the whole time.
Yeah.
So that was something that potentially France will be looking at, I'd say, and seeing it as potentially a weak area.
But also maybe an opportunity for us to go at DuPont.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what they're letting go.
Yeah. I suppose it depends on the referee. But, yeah, and then we squandered a few chances in that first half, which I think we could have had a bigger lead than that. And I was a bit nervous at half-time when we were on the call with McConey, because I was like, this is exactly what the Irish want. A little tight little arm wrestle, tense, kick a penalty in the last 10 minutes and just get the crowd to get behind them and then just knuckle up and defend.
Yeah.
But getting out to that 10-point lead and just watching them shit the bed, that, was it Frawley, the replacement fly half, first five that came on, had an absolute shitter. The ginger dude dropped two absolute goobers, and you could see them just falling apart after that.
That's what I liked as well. I was like, we're not the All Blacks of old. The mystique, the aura, the intimidation factor's gone.
Suck on that.
Well, fucking, it was there for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and as I said on Hodaki Breakfast yesterday, it was so good. Foot on the throat of the zombie and then double tap in the middle of the head. Was so good.
Yep. So that's Irish rugby done forever.
Yeah.
And just a heads up that the Super Rugby squads are being submitted to the league today, which means that they'll put their press releases out as well.
So is this? Are they doing it staggered again?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, right.
So right now, at the time of recording this, we're coming up to 10 o'clock. So the first team, which I think is the Highlanders, will release their one. I'm not predicting any big changes, although I did forget that Ardie Savea is going to Moana Pacifica.
Yeah, well, that's probably the biggest news of the squad announcements, isn't it? Really,
and we already know.
Yeah, if they'd saved it up to the squad announcement, that would have been juicy
and a great way to own the off season as well. Yeah,
but
anyway, who knows? There's never any player movement in Super Rugby,
and if there is like a significant All Black movement, it's known about well in advance.
Yeah,
like the Bodie Barrett move and stuff like that.
Didn't get nearly enough shit, Bowden Barrett, for that.
Yeah, and also, but it was never released in this one, in the squad announcements. It was a separate press conference, a separate set of comms. Anyway.
So that tells you that no one else is moving.
Yeah, I don't think there's no major movements whatsoever. There's probably just a few young players coming up and coming through NPC that potentially got the call up.
Yeah.
And that's really about it.
Yeah. We'll break those down tomorrow, see if there's any big changes. I can't imagine that there would be. Over the weekend, I played golf with Jason Hoyte.
How was that?
It was good. Now, did he fall apart by hole 12? Yeah, he did. He did fall apart.
Well, his pins, he's got such dangerously skinny legs. He hates wearing shorts.
Yeah. So he was in pants.
And he was in pants. He obviously in pants because he hates getting his pins out because there's not a lot there.
No.
There's not a lot holding up that barrel-chested upper body. So I'd imagine after 12 that those legs would be ready to go. Did you give him a cart or anything?
Well, no, we didn't give him a cart, but we were with another mate. It's me, Chris, Jace, and another mate of ours, Sam, who had never met Jace before. Okay. And off the 7th tee, he was just like, so what's the go with the pants, man? Like, it's pretty hot out here. Like, why are you wearing pants? And he goes, you haven't seen my legs, mate. Fair enough. And then at the turn, our mate Sam got a cut. Everyone was giving him shit, but by hole 10 or 11, Jace was just in all sorts. Like one side of his back was sore, that one of his hips had gone. It was just, he was in pieces. But he played well enough. And not to toot my own horn, but I played the round of my life. Greatest score I've ever hit, 94.
Oh, shit, that's good.
That's okay. I mean, I
anything under 100 for me is a win.
Same here. The disheartening thing for me is that I lost 2 balls, and I hit a tree once. So there's 3 strokes I could get back. I can't see how I could get under 90. That is as good as I could possibly play. Even if I took those 3 strokes back, I'm still 91.
Speaking of which, that's good practice for the ACC Open that's coming up at Pupuki. End of January, still places available. Text golf to 3236 and get in there quick, because there is only I think 30 teams available in that, and it sells out pretty quick. Yeah. She's a fun afternoon.
She's a great afternoon. But my point was I was in the form of my life, and I felt what it felt like to be in the zone and hitting everything purely, which is a feeling that I know is shared by Steve Alker, who did the exact same thing. It's a segue, by the way.
Oh, good. That's good. I thought my segue into the promo was good, but you've double segued into Alker.
I could have done without it because I was trying to get somewhere, but
I could have. Well, I didn't know you were going to Alker, so I could have gone to the end.
Well, that's the rundown. But Steve Alker won $2.18 million after claiming the overall season title on the PGA Champions Tour. The 53-year-old finished second in the season-ending Charles Schwab Cup at Phoenix Country Club in Phoenix today. More importantly, he finished 10 shots clear of South African Ernie Els, who went into the event holding the lead in the season standings, so he obliterated him.
Suck on that, you Safa.
Did enough to win the title for the second time in 3 years, and the Alker-Holics couldn't be happier. We need to release the merch.
Yeah,
we put a call out the other week for someone to draft it up. I've had a crack myself. It's almost there.
Almost there. I'm a functioning alcoholic. I'm a functioning alcoholic. I'm all in. I'm all in for the next season. I think we need to go on tour with him.
Yes.
If he's got an Australian league, I'm in.
Also, that course, that Charles Schwab, the final course, was at Phoenix Country Club. That's where the Waste Management is, isn't it?
It's in Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix.
So it must be the same. They've probably got loads of great clubs, haven't they?
True.
But yeah, it is the Phoenix, the Waste Management Open.
But yeah, we need to get over there. We need to get the merch made. So I'm working on drafting up the thing. But if anyone out there is handy on the tools, whip us up a logo for the Alker-Holics, because we need to get over there and support them. In fact, to be honest, Steve should be bloody.
He should be funding this.
He should be footing the bill for this. Yeah.
Well, he's not on socials, is he? He's the old guard, isn't he? He doesn't give a shit. He's just making a lot of money.
No, 100%.
Is he still living in Hamilton?
I believe he lives in Phoenix.
Oh.
I think he lives somewhere in the States.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy that interviewed him afterwards said, will you be having a few beers tonight? He said, yeah, we'll have a couple. I reckon he would have got maggot. Him and the Alker-Holics. Just quickly before we go to the break, Rugby League is looking at trialling a new rule in 2025 by punishing teams for long kickoffs. So following a spate of head injuries from collisions as players return kickoffs off the back fence, the league is set to take drastic action. The wide world of sports has been told that any team that starts play with a kickoff that goes into the 20-metre line on the full will concede a 7-tackle set. So if you catch it in goal or in the 20, between the 20 and the try line, you get 7 tackles instead of 6. And so the idea being that every kickoff will be short.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to aim for pretty much the goal line now.
Yeah.
Because if you can tackle them within the 20, that's just another 6 tackles.
I know. And if they're trying to get rid of it, just start with the tap and go on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Just bin the kickoff altogether. Yeah. This isn't really doing anything, because the next thing that's going to happen is if they go short and everyone's contesting them, someone's going to fall on their neck and then they're going to ban kickoffs altogether. So just fucking bin it all together.
I'm surprised that people don't use the posts more on kickoffs, because I think
kick it at the post.
Kick it at the post, because there's so much interference there. It could hit the crossbar. It could hit the post. It could hit
Could go out on the full.
Well, nah. I think if you're a good enough kicker and you've been doing it long enough, you know how to drop it just before the post, because it just creates a natural hazard of a bit of confusion. But they always kick it off to the sides.
Yeah.
Let some prop come off the back fence.
There are some halfbacks who'll kick it off the pads, when they're about 5-10 metres out. which you're right, it's fucking chaos. when
Yeah,
that
total
happens.
chaos. Create more chaos in the kickoff.
Yeah.
But you're right. A tap and go makes far more sense because I can't see clubs going, oh, okay, I'm going to land it before the 20 now. They're not going to do that.
No.
Because they're going to that first tackle will potentially be closer to the kind of 40-metre line.
Yeah.
And then they've got another 5 tackles. Whereas if you got 6 and you're back in the 22,
Yeah.
It
The math
doesn't-
doesn't really
Nah.
check out. It's not a big enough deterrent.
nah.
Also, most teams are giving away a 6 again anyway off the first tackle because they're like, fuck, what does it matter to us?
Yeah.
If it slows the ball down and gets our boys back into play.
I don't. Yeah. They're getting a bit like rugby union.
Yeah.
They're bringing in rules for rules' sake, and I don't know.
Yeah, and they cited like one dude, Moses Suli, who got knocked out last year. It's like, yeah, that dude's going to get knocked out. It's a collision sport, you know?
And what are they going to say? So what about when a kick, just a normal clearance kick comes and the fullback hits it up?
That's right, yeah.
What are they going to do there?
You're not allowed to tackle. Because what you don't want it to get to is the point that the NFL's at, which looks ridiculous at the moment, when they kick off. So they kick off and the defenders have to stay stationary until the ball is caught, and then the runner has to either take a knee and call the play over, or if he starts to run, then the defenders are allowed to start. It's this weird like game of candlesticks. Maybe you used to play candlesticks as a kid. You have to stand still and then you can tag them. That's what it looks like, and it ruins the game. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We'll see what's going to happen with that one. Yes.
Game's gone soft.
Game has gone soft. There's been a ridiculous leak out of the EPL. It's footage of a referee talking about a game. We're going to play that for you right after this break. The Snackachangi Sports Scholarship changes great New Zealanders' lives every month. The previous winners, Mana and Reese, said winning the prestigious scholarship has taken their sports binge-watching to a whole new level. Shit. And you can become the next scholarship winner by texting CHIP to 3236 to go in the draw to win the ultimate ACC prize pack. And just last week, I went and dropped off another one to Toby and the Tits.
Yep, and Tits. You know what? Scholarships are things that are bandied about, and you look at it and go, oh, I'm never going to get a scholarship. You know, usually a Rhodes Scholar, or you got to be smart, you got to be an athlete. This scholarship here is one of the most achievable, and probably the most sought after scholarships in New Zealand right now.
That's right. You may never get an academic scholarship. And look, I don't think Toby will mind me saying this. I don't think he did get an academic scholarship. But you may just win the Snackachangi Sports Scholarship.
Yeah, and he did.
And he did. That's exactly what he did. He hooked the whole flat up. He was stoked with that as well. Great weekend. They were all heading off to Pearl Jam on the Friday night. Yeah. So they got stuck into the chips and a few extracurriculars. So text CHIP to 3236 if you want to win that. Now, so the EPL. Now.
You spend too long with Jason Hoyte.
I'm on his mic. It just happens. An English Premier League referee has been suspended after a video on social media appeared to show him making derogatory remarks about former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. We have the audio for you. We'll play it now.
What would you say? Why would you say that Jurgen Klopp was a cunt?
He accused me of lying and then just had a right fucking pop at me. And I've got no interest in speaking to somebody who's fucking arrogant. Oh my God. German cunt, fuck me.
So that's David Coote, who's been suspended immediately, as you can imagine, pending a full investigation. The poor dude, and I feel bad for him because whenever this thing happens, you know, the ACC, I feel like, has an official stance on these things.
Yeah.
Put the fucking phone away.
Put
the phone away.
And it's a video as well. So
Yes.
he's got a mate, who's probably now a former mate.
Yes.
Is videoing him. He's obviously asking him a question. That seems to me a conversation over a beer with no phones.
Yes.
He's a fucking German cunt. Blah, blah, blah. What are you doing with the video?
And so they're sitting side by side, David Coote and his mate, and they're filming like filming themselves. But it gets much worse because have a listen to the second part where he talks about, hey, please don't post this anywhere.
Long story short, Jurgen Klopp's a cunt. Liverpool are all fucking bellends, and we hate Scousers.
Oh no, that was not.
Right. Just to be clear, that fucking last video can't go anywhere. Seriously.
He's a Premier League referee. Let's not fucking ruin his career. Like, let's face it, we're good blokes, but we can't ruin a bloke's career.
Well, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
So obviously he sent that into a group chat and said,
into a football group chat. It's not. You can't trust any chats.
No.
because someone sent it to another chat and goes, hey, don't spread this. But in that chat, there's some a-holes who have got no skin in the game, and they'll spread it.
That's right, yeah. Because every step further removed, they give less and less of a shit.
Oh, what
of course they're going to send it.
Oh, man.
But also...
It disheartens me.
You can't send it to someone else and be like, hey, don't send this to people. You just fucking sent it.
Yeah.
Put the phone away. It almost seemed like entrapment as well. It was like leading the witness.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
what do you think?
What do you think about this? Blah blah blah. Yeah.
And they sounded pretty steamed as well.
They were wasted. Yeah.
Poor dude. Like, I don't know how you get out of that because you obviously said it. It's videoed, but then your mates, fuck.
Yeah. I think it's pretty tough. Do you think that's the end of that, ref? It'll be hard to put him out there to referee, a game against someone that he slagged off.
Oh, and also imagine if he ever played Liverpool again.
Yeah.
Like referee Liverpool, the
That's
whole
right.
crowd would... You don't often have a crowd baying for a referee's blood and songs about the ref, but he's done.
Yeah.
Because if it's any game, actually, he goes out.
Yeah.
He's just going to get... Like, I mean, there'll be some people who will probably chant in agreement to him about Jurgen Klopp being a German cunt.
Yeah.
And
there will be chance against Jurgen Klopp now.
Yeah. But they're on the flip side. You don't want the referee to start taking centre stage.
Put the phones away, man.
Totally.
Put the fucking phones away. Liam Lawson, this actually came out yesterday, but I wanted to talk about it with you.
Yep.
He has called it completely bullshit that God Save the King was played by McLaren at podium finishes, arguing God Defend New Zealand would better honour Bruce McLaren. Do you agree with him?
I kind of do, but it is a British company now. It is 100% owned by British investors, but the name McLaren, it was founded by Bruce McLaren, the most Kiwi of Kiwis of all.
His name's fucking Bruce.
Bruce McLaren, born in Auckland, owned Upland Motors with his dad, worked there in Remuera. It's interesting because I didn't know that they played God Save the Queen.
Neither.
But it does seem like a bit of a dick shrinker for a team that is named after and founded by a Kiwi.
And I would understand it if it was like an international competition, if you were racing for your country.
Yeah.
But they're not. So who gives a shit?
Yeah, and so Red Bull, is that Austrian?
Is it?
When the Austrians win? Oh, when Red Bull wins? Is that
an Austrian company?
Yeah, Red Bull, right. Yeah. Or is it because Red Bull are based in Milton Keynes? Do they play I don't know. Is
they
it
play Stormzy?
Is it an ownership thing? Ferrari is the Italian one, obviously.
Oh, you could be right.
And then you've got Alpine, which is French, which is Renault.
Yeah. You play Lemon Incest when they win.
But you know what? I'm loving that that Liam Lawson's getting the headlines for the right reasons because I can't imagine any Kiwis that wouldn't agree with him.
Yeah, no, 100%. Or they should play Scribe, Not Many, when they win. I think Bruce would agree with that.
Well, I mean, he'll have to sit up there and listen to the Austrian national anthem when Red Bull wins.
Deutschland über alles.
Good on him.
Mercedes one.
Good on him. I love how he's just getting stuck in. He's not going to go down quietly because it must be fucking intimidating going over into that. You've got 20 of the most biggest egos driving the fastest cars in the world, and he's gone over and just couldn't give a shit.
It'd be the only way that you could do it. You'd have to just go on and just be like, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You're not my friends.
They're not. No. Otherwise, you'd get overawed.
Yeah.
But if you go in there and be like, you guys are so old, it's over for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to come and win everything.
Yeah. Alonso, you're a boomer.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. Give him the fingers to Sergio Perez.
Yeah.
Saying to the McLaren, grow up. You're founded by a Kiwi.
And that'd put the shits up here as well as an older driver.
You're like, this guy's a maniac. Because they did say that he's dangerous. I was like, whatever. He's a fucking young. What he is young. He's got no fear.
Yeah, that's right.
You used to be like that, mate.
Yeah.
That would be a great comeback in the press conference. You used to be like that, Fernando. You used to be good. And just watch me go, you fucking little.
But now all of a sudden the bills are all in your name and you're worried about crashing your car.
Yeah.
It's changed everything. All right, the New Zealand Cup is on later on today down there in Addington. It is one of the later races of the round. I've got the got the odds in front of you there. Lane, Swayze, Patrick Swayze's your favourite.
Yeah, the dingo. They're coming over to steal another one of our babies.
Yeah.
Because it's the biggest harness race in New Zealand. The harness racing, for those who don't know, it's the one where you have a driver sitting in a kind of a chariot.
A chariot, yeah.
And the greatest thing about that is because jockeys need to be small, athletic, and they're always dangerously skinny and dehydrated and got high pitched voices. And but a driver of a trots can be pretty much anyone.
Nikola Jokic from the NBA drives.
So and some of the dudes that drive it, you're like, look like they've come straight out of the pub, jumped onto the back of them. And if I'm honest, it looks way more dangerous.
Yeah,
being those things, because I've seen some accidents where they just get flipped over the top of the head of the horse, and then you get run over by the horse and the chariot.
That's right. If you hear about someone getting a horrific injury, it's generally those or steeplechasers.
Yeah, that's true. So, but big day in Canterbury.
Huge day.
Day off. Students have finished exams. When I was down there for my 3 years, that was loose as a goose. That was targeted that day.
So if you count from November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July is 9 months from now. And we've noted on this podcast before that there were 4 Cantabrians, I believe, in the office, all born in July.
I've got 2 kids born in July. But the first one...
You went to Canterbury University.
The first one, though, was a Rugby World Cup baby when we won the Rugby World Cup in 2011.
Oh, yeah.
He was born 9 months later in July 2012. It was a celebration. That's Richie McCaw's baby. Richie!
You should have called him Richie. Speaking of names, there's some great ones in this. Moonga, which by all accounts is a very handy horse.
Yeah, I'm in with Moonga. It's a good vibe punt.
Yeah, it's 4th highest odds, or lowest odds rather.
Still 14s.
Yeah, there is a horse by the name of Republican Party coming off a massive win last week over in the States.
How apt is that?
Yeah, and then American Me and Beach Ball rounding out the field. But anyway, we don't know bugger all about horses, so we need to call in the big guns, somebody that does know a little bit more about horse racing and is down there at the track is Greg O'Connor. He's a spokesman for Addington Raceway, so he joins us right after this. Well, it's a great honour and privilege for the Agenda podcast to have live at the track Addington spokesman and legend of the racing industry, Greg O'Connor, joins us now. Greg, first of all, how's it all going? I imagine you're running around with your hair on fire this morning.
Yeah, a little bit like that, Manaia, but it's a great occasion, Cup week each and every year, let alone Cup Day itself. So, always look forward to it. The 121st running of our greatest race. It's for $1 million, and obviously we've got plenty of Australian interest this year too. So it all adds up to a pretty important and special day.
Greg, it's G Lane here. Can you talk us through the conditions down in Christchurch? The pitch report, is it sunny? What are we looking at?
Yeah, beautiful, fine day. A bit of a cool breeze at the moment, but we hope that abates a little bit. Track's in unbelievable condition. John Denton and his son Jeff, they've done an incredible job. They relayed the surface about 6 months ago, and then about 6 weeks ago they put 200 tonne of sand and chip on it. So it's unbelievable for the horses. When you're standing out on the track, you can hardly hear them even touching the ground. And that sort of cushion just allows the horses to bounce off it. They feel good about life. Their joints don't get too sore, and they're able to run up to their absolute optimum.
You mentioned the Australians coming over here. Swayze's the favourite this week. Did I see his trainer talking a bit of shit earlier this week, saying that they're coming over to win the whole thing?
You totally heard that, and that's exactly what he said last year as well, and bugger me if he didn't front up and do the same, do the job, and then he gets the same barrier this year, and obviously Leap to Fame doesn't get here, so his younger half-brother would have given him plenty to think about, but unfortunately he had to pull out, and Swayze's the favourite. Mind you, we've got a couple of superstar Kiwis to take him on this year.
Who are some of those superstar Kiwis coming into this race today, Greg?
Merlin's the pin-up boy of the North, and he's trained by master trainer Barry Purdon, who hasn't won a cup for 30 years. He's won it 4 times. He trained alongside his legendary father, the late Roy Purdon. Chokin was the name of the horse that won in 1993. So, he's overdue to win one, and he's got Zachary Butcher doing the driving, and Zach's a rare talent. He's terrific on and off the track, and when you see him out there, he sits beautifully in the cart. He's the son of David, who won the Cup in 2008, and there's only been a couple of father-son combinations go on and win a New Zealand Cup as a driver. So, it could be a special day for him. But Merlin's form's been exceptional. He won the Ashburton Flying Stakes, a traditional key lead-up race for this, and he's had the wood over his age group rival, Don't Stop Dreaming, who's driven by Blair Orange. Blair's a former junior Kiwi, so he's a really talented sportsman. He's now a 6-time premiership winning driver. He'll make it 7 at the end of December as well. So that clash between those two drivers alone is something that I'm really looking forward to.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm getting on Merlin. Greg, it's a beautiful day. You said down there in Christchurch. It's a big occasion for all of Canterbury. Everyone gets the day off. How many people are you expecting to cut loose at Addington today?
Look, we're budgeted basically around the 15,000 mark. That's about all we can get here now since those bloody earthquakes kicked in 2011.
Yeah.
We had to take down a public stand which used to fit about 6,500, and so that certainly curtailed the numbers that we can have here. In saying that, it condenses the crowd, and our corporates have been sold out for over 6 weeks. So Canterbury's party day. It's a day to get the glad rags on, have a crack at the best dress competition, and enjoy the wonderful occasion that is Cup Day at Addington.
Just before we let you run off and get your fascinator in place, Greg, have you got a tip? If you gun to your head, who do you think takes this one out today?
Look, I think Merlin's had the perfect preparation, so I want a Kiwi victory. So I'll probably go for him, but Swayze's going to take all sorts of beating. And I reckon, guys, the best bet of the day is a horse called Alker-Holics. Goes round in race number 4. He's number 14. He's a really smart pacer. He actually could have been in the Cup, but he likes a mobile start, and he gets that today. So $6, that'll do me, and I'm pretty sure it'll do you as well.
Will do
Yeah,
me.
I'm all over it.
Lane's already put his bet on. He was placing it as you were saying it.
Beautiful.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Greg. We'll let you get on with your day. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem at all. Have a great day.
Cheers, mate.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.